Welcome back here on the Senior Network. We are now joined by Rebekah Thompson, attorney with the State Center for Planning, and that's in Bluffton, correct? That's where you guys are located. I know you obviously operate on Hilton Head too, but I know your physical location's in Bluffton, correct?
Correct. So we're in Pinckney Colony, and then we do have a satellite office in the 200 building on Main Street.
Oh, you do?
On the
Okay,
island.
perfect.
Yes,
okay, for folks that live here, yeah.
We do. We started that about a year ago, so we can meet a couple of times on the island.
Yeah. Well, we all know about the pandemic. We probably are kind of tired talking about that, but unfortunately we're also in hurricane season, right? Here at the coast. So tell me a little bit about it. I know that probably means a lot when it comes to really being prepared with your planning, correct?
Correct. So, and I actually ran an article in the Bluffton Sun about this because the pandemic had everybody panicking about their documents. But what people don't realize is hurricane season is also just important.
Sure.
Just because, like, do you know where your will is or your power of attorney? Where do you keep your insurance policies? Where do you keep your health insurance cards and things like that? If you had to evacuate, do you think to grab your estate planning documents and take them with you?
Great point.
And so we ran an article, and we've been trying kind of through the pandemic and with hurricane season to kind of encourage clients, like, find your documents, update them if they need to be updated, and keep them somewhere where if you had to evacuate, you can grab and go. Yeah. Because we know, as everything's kind of been trending, if we're going to get hit by a hurricane, it's coming up soon because we tend to get hit in September, October.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, and that brings up a good point. I know we could spend 3 or 4 shows talking about all the different documents, but give us, the viewers that may not understand, just maybe a broad view of, like, a will, a trust, a durable power of attorney. Kind of explain the differences, if you will.
So there's 2 really different types of estate planning documents. You've got lifetime planning documents, which is a financial power of attorney and a healthcare power of attorney. And then you've got the will and the trust, which are more traditional estate planning. Okay. And we call powers of attorney lifetime documents because they only work while you're living and breathing. So the financial power of attorney gives somebody the ability to pay your bills, decide where you live, sell your home, talk to the insurance companies. If something happens and your house is destroyed during a hurricane, somebody can step in and take care of you. And then, of course, the healthcare power of attorney, which is really important. It's different than a living will. Okay. The healthcare power of attorney lets people make medical decisions for you that are general medical decisions. So if you're going in for a surgery, you're going to be unconscious for 3 hours, all the way up to an end-of-life decision. Whereas a living will is just a straightforward, do you or do you not want nutrition and hydration to be provided? And those are really important because when you don't have those, that's when your family members have to go through the guardianship and conservatorship process.
And what is that?
And so that's just a process where if you don't have a power of attorney and you haven't named somebody to step up and take care of you if you become incapacitated or disabled, they can go through the probate court, and a probate judge will appoint someone to be your guardian and conservator. Okay. It's pretty lengthy and it's pretty expensive versus if you go ahead and be prepared and get, the couple $100 for the powers of attorney, you save a ton of money. And then estate planning, so a will, the best way I've ever found to describe a will is a Dear Probate Judge letter. Dear Probate Judge, I died. Joey's gonna be my executor. Bob and Sue are gonna inherit from me. The end, please make it happen. Because that's what a will is. It's directions to the probate court who's inheriting and managing your estate.
So you're making your own decisions, not a judge.
Correct. When you don't have a will and you die with no documents, the probate judge and the intestate laws of South Carolina control. So essentially, the state gets to decide who manages your estate, who inherits, and things like that.
Okay. And you had mentioned earlier you're very busy, with probate. So maybe give us a brief summary of what's probate.
So probate is, like, in a clinical definition, probate is the court-monitored transfer of wealth from a deceased person to their named heirs in a will. Okay. And basically in South Carolina, it takes at minimum a year. And basically through that year process, bills get paid, creditors are handled. If we need to sell a house or a car or, liquidate assets, that's taken care of. And then typically toward the end of the process is when heirs actually inherit.
Great information. I appreciate that. You always bring such great information. Thank you so much. That's all the time we have.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please, if you will, take a moment, email us any comments, questions you may have here on the Senior Network. And I want to thank you all for joining us here today, where senior care experts come together. We'll see you the next time.